Damn, Barry, I was wondering why I can't buy no Corvettes in this town. Hell, you done got them all.
What brings you to these parts?
Man, just out looking, loafing around, looking at cars. What's going on with
Good
you?
to see you, Rob Pitts.
Good to see you too, Barry Blakely from Vette City.
What you looking for today, man?
Man, I want to tell you something. I've been sent on a mission to go car shopping. I'm looking for a cool Corvette for a friend.
Okay. What kind of friend?
She's a good friend.
Okay.
She's a good friend.
Well, do you know what you're looking for exactly?
I know what I'm looking for when I see it.
All right.
She has trusted me with finding her a cool Corvette. That's what she wants.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've got a few in here. You want
Just
to
so,
come
how
by?
about this one? A little 68 Corvette.
68 Corvette.
Red
convertible
hardtop.
With a hardtop. You gotta love that.
I like the red hardtop too,
Little
because
small
most of them were
block,
vinyl.
automatic.
I like this. I like it. I like it. Let's go here and see what you got in the toy
Do it.
box.
Let's do it.
Hey, you don't know where man can find a Corvette at around here, do you?
We've got a few of them, Rob.
I'm telling you, man, I love it. I love it. I tell you the thing that I love about Millennium Yellow. This is a 2000, right?
That's a 2000 Millennium Yellow.
Millennium Yellow Corvette is literally, I could have had a car just like this, but a convertible or a wife, and I chose the wife. You
I've
see
heard
where that got
story.
me? Yeah, I've told that one many times, and every time I see one of these things, it kind of makes me cringe a little bit. Like, I loved it so much then, I'm like, ugh. You know? Still like it, though.
Yep,
Still
sure.
like it, though.
Sure.
You know what? Those C5 Corvettes have come so far, though. You know, and everybody talks like, you know, I just sold that C4 to the banker, and he's like, he loves it. And I describe a C4 Corvette as the last real, purest sports car Corvette.
Yeah.
And it's not even a horsepower thing or anything like that. It's the squeaks and the rattles and the pops, and even a 96 is being as advanced as it was from 84. Those cars, they still have that feel.
That's right.
Where
That's
I
right.
compare these cars, like that SL500, kind of touring more than, it's like the best of both worlds.
That's right. That's right.
You
I
can
agree.
see these cars with high miles
Yep.
on. You see a C4 Corvette with 200,000 miles on it, it had 20 owners to do it.
I mean, these cars, the LS engines, they're made to go 250, 300,000 miles. That's no problem.
If it remotely take care of it, it'll do that all day
And you
long.
can enjoy the whole ride.
Exactly.
The whole 300,000 miles. of this
Exactly. Like you may not even need a chiropractor when you're
right.
done.
That's
Maybe.
right.
But and that's the thing. These cars are comfortable. They handle well. And I think that's why you guys sell so many of these things. It's because this is like the ultimate. It's like the best of both worlds. You want to drive it to a cruise in or a car show. You want to drive it to work. You want
It's
to drive it
still
to
a
the
Corvette.
mountains. It's a little hot ice cream car. It's a hot date car.
That's right.
It's the car you drive to the grocery store, or you can drive it to the drag strip,
That's
wherever
right.
you want to go. You know, drive it track day or whatever. Like, I mean, you get one of these cars like a 6-speed or like a Z06 or
right.
something like that. These are a lot of fun. And all the cool colors on the C5s. And you always got the cool colors. Space gray.
Yeah. Only 2 years only on this car. They're 03 and 04.
Right.
And this Nassau blue.
I love the blue.
One of the prettiest colors, I think, that they made C5. They didn't make very many of them.
Right.
That's a 2000. They only made 851.
What was the blue on the C4s? It was kind of like, what was it, Admiral blue?
Yes, I believe that was the name of it.
But like, I love that blue. The colors on these, like, of course, we had Millennium Yellow. We got, it's not Sebring silver on these, right?
Yeah, I believe, you know what, I'm not 100%
I'm set
sure.
on that.
I call it a pewter. That's actually a spiral gray 2003. 03 and 04 spiral gray is what they call it.
And then, like I said, the Nassau blue,
Nassau blue.
which this is a take off the 60s Vettes, you know, your C2s and stuff. And well, they even had it for the C3s. They had a blue that was very close to that.
Jetstream blue.
Exactly.
So I believe 08 was the first year for that.
Right.
Jetstream blue.
Just that real pretty bright blue. And I'm not a blue car fan. I mean, I say that and I have 3 of them, but like I'm a red Corvette guy.
Yeah.
But it's like the blues are pretty.
Now, there's colors on Corvettes though that work on Corvettes that don't work
That
anywhere
will
else.
work on nothing else.
You know?
And I'm with you 100%. And there's some cars that, like, I'll give you a perfect example. But like on my little 65 Chevelle, it's that bright blue, and it's mist blue. That was the factory color. And that color actually changed in 66 to marina blue, which the shade changed a little bit over the years. Right. But that color looks so good on those cars. Yep. And just like that Nassau blue. Yep. I mean, it's just the lines of the car. It really picks them up. Mm-hmm. You know, and I mean, like I said, I'm old school Corvette, red, black, white. I love, that's what I like in Corvettes, you know, but like this is a very pretty car, you know, and I mean, I would never naturally pick out blue with light oak inside, but that's a classy car.
You know, I told my partner too on this car, if I was going to the dealership in 2000, 99, late 99 to order this car or pick out this car, this would not have been the one I would have bought. You know,
No.
I don't think this would have been the one I would have
But you see it
picked on.
together and you like it.
Together. And you see it now. Here we are 20 years later, and you realize that it's a rare car. You know, it's a rare color. And so, yeah, I want this one.
Now you do want
Yes,
this
I
one.
want this one.
And speaking of blue Corvettes, we actually got, maybe early April, we got a Le Mans Blue C8 coming in. I'm just throwing that out there. But that's for another time. But anyway, so we got the blue Vette, and now we're stepping back into my territory right here. Yeah. This right here is, hey, I date a stripper. I love this. Red, tan insides, literally all you need is a mustache, and you're perfect. This is the perfect single man car. Yep. Right here, C6 Vette. How much horsepower? What, 300?
No, that's 400 on this one.
400, let's say LS2.
So that's LS2. So they had the LS1s, 345
right.
in the C5s. In the LS2s in 05 got 400, and then the LS3 in 08 went to 435, 438.
And this is the perfect thing when you're dating a stripper. You drop the top and it blows all the glitter out. So it fixes everything. Bright red, it just screams, hey, look at me. I love red Corvettes.
Torch red and a tan top and a tan interior. I love that color combination.
The only thing I like a little better, and I'm a little weird here, I love red on red too.
Yep.
With a black top. Yep. But the red on tan, that's just, it's classy.
How about black on red?
No, I saw that.
Did you see this?
I saw this already, and that caught my eye. I love,
the interior of this car is gorgeous.
There's nothing sexier than a black car. You got to think about it. Even with Henry Ford, when he started, black shows off the lines of anything. You know, I mean, you know, even in fashion, you got to think about it. You know, black is always going to be in style. It's just like denim jeans. They're never going to go away. But black's always in style. But there's nothing prettier when you got a jet black car with bright red, bleeding to death inside.
The red interior looks
I
great.
love the red.
That makes this car, for me.
It does. If it was black on black.
Not the same car. But I love black on black.
But this is the thing, though. When you're ordering it out of that little book, you're like, yeah, I want black interior in it, because you can't visualize it. When you see that red just pop, that's a lot. I like that. I love red insides. You know, I got my white 68, this red inside. And that's what drew me to that, is I love the red insides.
You were talking about Le Mans Blue. We've got one of those. That's Le Mans Blue in 05.
Right.
So they've got one coming out. You've got C8 coming in.
Give it a C8 that's come, the new Le Mans Blue.
Listen, I wish they were here in the shop with me right now. I've got 2 C6 Z06s in Le Mans Blue right now. 2. Bad to the bone. Love this color.
Oh, you need to sell some cars. We got cars everywhere
even
here.
Better on a wide body Corvette. So gorgeous color on these cars.
6-speed.
Yeah. Z51 package on this one too. So
Z51.
Z51 handling package. What about a Ontario orange?
See, now this is, okay, so I got a funny story on this. Now this is gonna look a lot like my white 69 that I bought from Barry. And I bought it for my birthday. And it was my car, sitting right here where that red Vette was.
That's right.
We were sitting here and we bought it. And I got a funny story that goes with this.
We shook hands on it right here, didn't we?
We shook hands on it right here. And I said, hell, Barry, I'll just write you a check. Hell, I took the car with me. I said, Barry, I'll get the title later. I ain't worried about that. Hell, I went to Mom and Dad's house. We went out to dinner. My parents just lived 20 minutes up the road. I said, hell, we all went out to dinner. I'm taking pictures on Facebook, showing off my new Vette, riding around, rode to Greenville in it. Monday morning, I get a phone call. Barry says, your check ain't no good, Rob. I'm like, the hell you say? It better be. And I started looking at it. And all right, you know, I've got multiple businesses, multiple accounts. And I've got one thing that, and I've caught myself a couple times before I'd done it, and apparently I was just so excited, I just wrote a check. I've got 2 accounts that both have blue checks. And I wrote him the account, and obviously didn't have enough to clear that one. So we got it straight finally. But yeah, I actually did write Barry a bad check for the Vette.
So the end of the story, the only bad check I've ever received
on a
Corvette is from Rob Pitt.
From me. That's horrible. But it is what it is.
It's been made good.
It's been made good. It's been made good. He didn't have to indict me or anything.
Right.
I might have floated him out a week or 2, but you know what I'm saying. No, I didn't.
What a gorgeous car, though.
I love this car. I love the orange. I love the saddle inside.
It's got the saddle interior. It's the deluxe interior, too. So a little different than the one you got. This is actual leather interior in this car with wood grain. So perfect 72 color, perfect 72 interior, just gorgeous with the faux wood grain and the real leather saddle interior.
I love when you say faux and real together.
Yeah.
Sounds
and real.
good.
Yeah.
It's faux and real. It's faux
Well, you get a
real.
combination. It's the 70s. Everything everything back in the 70s, right?
It's that synthetic leather. It's better than real leather.
There you go.
It's the leather of the roll. I love it though. I love the oversized wheels. I'm a sucker for. I love big wheels on Vettes, and and to each their own. When I got the white one, oh my goodness, you need to put the factory rallies back on. My '68's got factory rallies on it right now, and I'm just like, I hate them. I don't like them.
Gotta go big.
Oh, real big. Yeah, it's literally, those things are the only reason that I have them still on there is I can move the car with them on it, or it'd probably be on jack stands. I can't stand it. It's driving me nuts.
I think where the market's going on these cars, this car, a chassis car with an LS engine rolls across Barrett-Jackson, and it's, 80, 90 grand, 100 grand. But this car is an all original car, numbers matching car. It's a good, freshly restored car. A few years ago, it's been restored. I've got the original rallies on it. We lowered it on the stock stuff, put the big wheels on it, and you get that same
And lowering
look.
these Vettes is not a real big deal.
It's
it's
really
coil
easy.
springs.
Yep.
It's adjustable in the back.
That's exactly right.
There's not a lot to it. So it's not like we had to reinvent the wheel to do this. You can raise the car right back up virtually almost faster.
But you get that same look as a chassis car, but you can drive this thing around and enjoy it for 35 grand.
This is the point I love to stress to people about collector cars. I've been around this stuff all my life, and I love watching Barrett-Jackson. I love watching these Restomod Vettes come through. I'm going to tell you something. There is no suspension. Detroit Speed makes some great add-on parts for these cars and things like that. But at the end of the day, there's nothing that Restomod Vette that this Vette probably wouldn't do. Other than the LS drivetrain size.
Maybe a little bit quicker on the
Quicker because the LS drivetrain.
But as far as looks going down the road,
but looks going down the road. But even
pull up car show.
Well, we got to think about it. This car's still got four-wheel disc brakes.
Yep, that's
this
right.
car
Power windows.
Power windows. But it's got everything they've got. It's the older version of it, but it does everything. Are you going to take that car to track day? No, you're not.
Right.
So why spend the money? And this is the next thing. All right, I'll give you a perfect example of this. The purple and white 500 horsepower barn find truck. In 1992, that was the coolest thing around.
It was, wasn't it?
Fast forward to 2020, oh my God, that thing looks like a pair of parachute pants. Yeah. People are probably going to be saying the same thing about those Restomod cars because that was hot then. Now, where this car, you know what? Don't like the big wheels? You can raise it back. This car's still a matching numbers car, just like day one, timeless. That's what I love about what you're doing with these.
The other thing I like about this car, since we're sitting here talking about it, it's got the original protective plate with it, the original bill of sale with the car, and it's a two-owner car. So it's got a lot of documentation with it, a lot of those original paperworks, that we've got that's traveled with the car. So just a neat car. You can drive around and look like you've got a chassis car with big wheels and all that good stuff, a Restomod, but what you've got is a matching numbers original car with a ton of paperwork.
Right. You've got that car. You got the best of both worlds, really. So you got the Restomod look. And what I love about these Vettes, now like a C1 Vette, I'll be honest with you, it needs a chassis under it. Because everybody jokes around, like those, 54, 55, 56, 57, 8, 9, always 62. Those cars were a glorified 53 Chevrolet.
Technology come a long way.
Yeah, exactly. You got to think about it. This frame under this car started in 63, 65. They added disc brakes to it. This car, they put a V. It's got a bolt-on nose on the end of the frame to support the front end. It's got a different cross member. And other than that, it's the same frame from 63 to 82. 65 to 82, same brake pads, same calipers, same rotors. Everything's the same. And you know why they used them for that many years? Because it worked. That's why. And people still use this setup on new builds today. It's hard to beat. And that's the thing that when I first got in old cars, this wasn't considered a classic car. This was an old Vette. Now this is a classic Vette because the C2s and C1s have got out of sight. Now your bumper Vettes have gone insane. Yep. But you can buy these cars, especially a small block car. And this is another thing that I stress to people. There's nothing cooler than an L88 tri-power big block Vette. But there's a reason why they only made a handful of them. Because those were not road-friendly cars. Sitting in traffic and all that stuff. And handling-wise, the small block cars were really the way to go. And these cars, you want to go on a mountain drive with this thing, or you want to sit in traffic with it all day. These cars were comfortable.
Yep. You spent some time behind the wheel of your 69. I know you.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the police behind you.
Yes, a couple times.
Yes. So, but driving these cars, it's a good experience.
Might have been talking to me about that check.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good driving experience though with these cars. They don't just beat you don't just beat you to death. They're just really good cars.
But it's a comfortable car. It's a comfortable car. And they got the same Corvette, and just like what I love, from 72 to a 2020, you still got to squat and do the Corvette roll and all that stuff to get in. But once you get in there, it's a comfortable car.
My favorite line to people that are coming in here, and of course the Corvette market is typically, that 50, 55, 60-year-old plus, because most people, it takes that long in life to save up to spend that kind of money on a toy. And so when they come in here, a lot of people want to talk about, let me see if I can get in and out of it. That's what we're talking about. Well, I tell them my line is, getting in and out is only 30 seconds of the whole journey. Once you're in.
Exactly.
You're in a Corvette.
Well, and that's, at the end of the day, whether it be a C4, C2, C3, C5, C6, C7, 8, whatever.
Yep.
That's America's sports car.
That's right.
At the end of the day, from 53, take 83 out, obviously, they didn't make one. But every year Corvette, you're still in that same little club. When you see each other, it's that thing. And it is America's sports car. And people complain about getting out of them. I mean, for Christ's sakes, we got that damn McLaren. You want to see the monkey motions I do to get into that damn thing? But you know what? At the end of the day, it's a cool car and it's worth the ride. You know why? Because it runs 200 miles an hour. And that's the same thing. And I tell you what I love about the Corvettes, whether it be, a newer one or an older one, you come pulling up with this bad boy at a gas station, somebody's going to say, hey, that's a good looking car. And they instantly know it's a Corvette.
No matter what.
They know what it is.
No matter what year model you're driving, it's still a Corvette.
It's a Vette.
Still looking.
They know what it is. That's a Corvette. And I love it. And these cars, I love my favorite part about a C3 Corvette, and I'm probably going to get some flack when I say this, but this is actually described to me from a Corvette aficionado. This dude was Mr. C3 Corvette. He's NCRS, Bloomington Gold, Mr. Certified. Zora Arkus Duntoff, he's had dinner with him, like that guy. Sitting behind the wheel of one of these cars is an experience like no other. When you look over and you see the tops of these fenders right here, that is the coolest look. You feel like you're driving a race car. Like it's just that over the top. And these are a little like it, and the C5s are a little like it, but nothing's quite like these with those humps in it. I love looking out over the wheel of a C3 Vette, whether from 68 to 82, they're all the same. And that's my favorite part about these cars. I love that about them. Another really, really cool thing about C3 Corvettes, and this is actually shared to me from the guy that I got my 80 from. Back in the day, drinking and driving, we don't condone that here at all or anything. But it was kind of funny how laid back things were in the 70s, because the battery for these cars is actually in the back right here. You have 3 compartments. One's kind of short, and of course the drive shaft tunnel, or the transmission tunnel and drive shaft tunnel comes through it. So it's real narrow, but you have one on each side, it's kind of deep. Well, your battery's over here on the passenger side. We also have another one. And it's so funny, it's a fiberglass little tank with a door on it with a rubber plug in it. So your eyes can drain out. It's got a cooler for a 6-pack in the back. This thing was a rolling party. Of course, there again, it was the 70s. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But I love these cars. Love them. I mean, that's the cool thing about a Corvette. Every year has something cool about it. C6 Corvettes. I don't know. I couldn't tell you any specs about them. I owned a brand new one in 06. I was selling brand new Fords. You know what? How I kept my morale up and how I stayed excited about it? I drove a brand new Corvette. That's why.
What about a C5 Z06 over here?
I want to tell you something.
Does that fit what we're looking for?
Well, see, this is the thing. I don't think she's got a budget like that. She's looking for a fun driving car. We're going to find her something fun.
Sure.
But I love the Z06s, and these cars are really holding their value well. Still. And this is a lot of car. Probably one of the fastest cars I ever rode in was a hopped up Z06.
That was a supercar, back in 01.
Yes. Well, and I want to tell you something. With the aftermarket like it is, you can make these things a beast.
Well, the C4 ZR1, America's first supercar.
Right.
That was this car in 01 where the ZR1 started in 90 and went on through the later run of the C4s.
Right.
This car, the Z06, came out in 01 and really had the same power that ZR1 had. You know, I mean,
and that's the thing. I think the ZR1s didn't get the respect they deserved. You know, the LT5s, they, you know, you hear different things about them, but that was impressive.
Oh, it
that was a
for its
lot of
time.
car. You know, that was a car that had the two keys,
That's
right?
the two keys.
So I got a funny ZR1 story for you. A guy now is actually in prison, which is hilarious, but he bought one brand new in 91, and they only came in certain colors. You couldn't get the full spectrum of colors on a ZR1. They only had like 2 colors, I think, and like black, and it was like this kind of like dark red, and he didn't like either one of them. Every car he had was white. That was his thing. He bought a brand new, that dark red color, which it was 91, 92, whatever year that was. He bought this car brand new from the Chevrolet place. He drove it straight to the body shop. They blew that car apart and painted it refrigerator white.
Wow.
And he had the only white ZR1, and that was beautiful. I mean, you'd never known it didn't come that way. A C4 Corvette is probably one of the easiest cars in the world to change color on anyway, because other than the door jamb itself, the door, everything else is, pops off of it. So it's an easy car to technically do a color change on, thank goodness. But they ruined this brand. I mean, this car had like 16 miles on it, and they blew it apart to paint it white.
Expensive car at the time.
A very expensive car.
I don't know off the top of my head. Maybe we should have done the research before we start filming.
Well, we don't do that for you know.
I'm thinking it was probably 60 grand.
Well, you got to think about 60 grand in 1991 versus now.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so I mean, that's the thing you got to think about is, and that guy probably spent another 10, 15 grand then to paint it white.
What a cool car, though.
But it was cool, and he got it done. I always remember it. I mean, I was probably, I was 11, and he had like the 2 keys. Yeah. You know, and this is way before the Hellcat and the red key and all this stuff. And I mean, this thing was legit. Like, you open the hood, and that LT5 was a hot-looking motor. The TPI was pretty. The LT5 was a badass-looking engine. And, you know, and I mean, just this thing looked like something out of a space shuttle. And that's another thing that's sexy about Corvettes, is the backwards open hood. And we've lost that in the C8 now because now they're mid-engine. Everybody gets their way. But like, I love it when you open that hood. Yep. And a C4 was the best because the whole front end just,
the whole front
it's like, I mean, it's like a race car. It's like, you know, and this is my 200. This is my 200 horsepower L98. You know. But when you had a ZR1, that LT5 motor in it, those things were insane. I love those cars. But like these cars, back to the Z06s, these things are a beast.
They are.
These cars in stock form, just like it says. I'm assuming that was fairly stock.
That's fairly stock, exhaust intake and whatnot. But 01, they were 385 horse. 02, 03, 04, they jumped up to 405 horse. But they put it to the ground and go. Well,
and that's the thing, is they actually ride well. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're a little bit firmer than a regular C5, but they still, you can jump in this car and drive it.
You can drive it 2 or 3 hours and it not get out of it, feel like you need to go to
Exactly. My back. You know, that's what I love about the C5 Vettes. You know, of course, this was Millennium Yellow, which is my favorite color, of course, of C5 Corvettes. But you know, that's the cool thing about it is, I mean, and everybody now, I think people don't appreciate horsepower, you know, because it's so thrown out there now. 700 horsepower. I got 800 horsepower. This and this and this. This is a car that you could take all the steel in this car and carry it out in both hands. It's aluminum, carbon fiber, and fiberglass, everything else. And it makes 405 horsepower and will stop on a dime and give you 9 cents change back, and can hang just about any corner you want.
Just a ton of fun to drive.
Out of the box.
That car, you jump in and leave here and head to the mountains in it, and you're going to enjoy the whole trip. Exactly.
And it's not for the faint of heart either. You could drive that car. Yeah. And I mean, and that's any Corvette within reason, but these especially.
This was back in the day when all the Z06s were straight drive cars.
Yes.
You didn't get that car in an automatic.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, because it was a real
That's right.
And now, how funny, you can't even get a Corvette with a manual in it
That's
now,
exactly right.
which is the craziest thing ever. Which I'm sure that's going to change. Though. I just got a feeling that's not going to stick.
Feeling they've got to go back to
They got to, you know, and you know, I understand, you know, the automatic transmissions, you know, they shift better than any person could shift a manual transmission in technology. And I understand that, but it's the feel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like the old white Vette, you know, with the 4-speed in it. It's just you're doing something.
Right.
It just feels.
that mechanical feel.
It does. It like you're a part of it. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you got to get that right arm and that left leg in there. You know, and that's what makes it fun. Those cars are a lot of fun, though. Those cars are a lot of fun to drive. I tell you guys what, I'm gonna see if I can't talk old Barry into buying me some lunch. I may even try to beat him out of a Corvette today. You never know.
Maybe so. I hope you're not bringing that same checkbook, though.
Of course. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars.